So very simple. The rest of the things are same. Eval. Okay, that is the concept of similar like to typecasting. Enter anything. Okay, enter anything, and then I am printing type of X. Okay, and then I am printing what exactly inside this X. So I am saving it. Save as eval example .py. Okay, so always try to make the different name to your data, okay, to your files, otherwise you will get error message, because if I use the eval at that time, it may be the naming conflict can be there. He will consider okay this eval, and he can consider okay but is this eval. So always try to make the different names, okay, to avoid the naming conventions. So cmd, let's suppose py eval example. Now you can understand it. Enter anything. This time I am entering string. So what is this? This one is a string. So you are getting a class that is string. I didn't do the typecasting for the same. Okay, I pass the list over there. Okay, I pass the list, and now it is considering this one a list. You can check it out. Exactly the data into the same format. Now again I am taking this one. Okay, this one is a set. Okay, so this would be considered as set. Now the next one is a dictionary. Okay, 101 colon 2123. Okay, now it's become a dictionary. Okay, so this one is the the eval function. I think now the picture is clear or not? Rest of the things are same. Whatever the logic that you want to create, the rest of the things are same.
Okay, so basically we're gonna use this function when somebody different user is inputting the data.
Yes. Because okay. Let me tell exactly how exactly this is useful. Let's suppose I want to evaluate this expression. Okay, here the concept of the board mass is implemented. Okay, the concept of the board mass will be implemented. So for this type of things, if I do it manually, I will get the error message. Not error message, I won't get the perfect output, because I sometimes it's a human nature that is not comfortable, to manage the board mass rule. Like this, as you know, the board mass rule, the priority of the braces are higher. Okay, then let's suppose, then the priority of the multiplication and division and so on. So this type of evaluation is there. So if you do if you do the same thing mathematically by your own, you may be doing the mistake of the board mass rule. So at that time, normally we will perform the eval. Eval automatically now convert what exactly that you are getting. Okay. I think now the picture is more clear about this. If I check it out, 8. Now okay, calculated it, what output you will consider. Okay, what output you will consider. Okay, what output you will consider. I am taking just one. So now sometimes what exactly we are doing, we are performing this plus first, and sometime we will calculate it 2 plus 3, that is 2 plus 1 3, and 3 multiplied by 8, that is 24. Okay, but that is not appropriate output, because the priority of this multiplication is higher. So the output would be 8 into 2 10, 8 into 2 16, 16 plus 1 17. Now when you press the enter, automatically the board mass rule is implemented. So this type of situation, whenever you have to handle, you try to use the concept of the evaluation. Okay, so I think now the picture is clear more enough for this concept.
Yep.
Okay, so now I'm moving ahead. So let me own my pen. Where is my pen? This one. So okay, if you are if you know to anyone who wants to learn the cloud computing, now I am capable enough to take the classes of the cloud computing. Yesterday let me show you, I cleared the exam of this one, that is the Azure fundamentals. I cleared this exam yesterday. Okay, so if anyone is willing to learn the cloud computing and want to clear this examination, okay, so now I'm gonna to start batch probably into the next week. So now this certification, that examination name is AZ, highly demanding for nowadays, that is the Azure cloud computing. Okay, so now exam is AZ 900. Okay, so this one is a exam. So this one is a exam. So this one is a certification for the same, and the exam is the Microsoft Certified Azure Fundamental. This is the very initial stage to enter into the cloud computing, that is the Azure, using Azure. Okay, so if any one of you who wants to learn the something technical, whether he is not coming from the technical background or not, that doesn't matter. Okay, because these are very simple and very easy to understandable. In this concept, you are not supposed to do any kind of the programming. So here the programming is not a concern. Sometimes the people are saying that we are not good into the programming, then the option is this one. So he can establish your career into the Azure. And yes, highly demanding, as you know, the cloud computing. Without cloud computing, the industries are, you know, the industry are not capable to do their task or do their projects. So if anyone is interesting, please let him know and try to share my contact number. Okay.
So it includes hardware networking also, no?
Yeah, basics of the networking is more enough. You don't need to do anything special for the same. The basic networking concepts are highly required, because I have lots of people who are coming to me, and I whenever suggest them the Python, they also always say, sir, I am not comfortable to the Python. So that's why I decided to, you know, get the knowledge into this, and you will get the complete material, and I will give you the assurance. If anyone is gonna to take the course from me, I will give you the assurance of the certification, not guarantee, assurance, because I have lots of material. So I know into great detail. Even I have handwritten notes as well for the same, and dummy practical test as well. So if anyone is interested, okay, if it doesn't matter he is coming from the technical or the non-technical background, that doesn't matter to crack this exam. Everything is very easy, very, you know, the things inside this, you have to just perform the option, nothing else. You are not supposed to do anything special. You have to just click on the next, but make sure your basic things you must have clear. What exactly on the backend side, what is the cloud computing, how you can perform in the computing, auto scaling, these kind of things. Whenever you learn the theoretical things into this, automatically the practical will be very easy for the same. And the beauty is this one is the person, whether he is not from technical background, he is able to, you know, earn this certificate. Very easy to crack. So back to the point. What we have to do. So if I show you for regarding this, so this is the entire material. Okay, this one is the entire material. This one is the practical test which I, you know, gathered from the internet. I collected the questions, and approximately here 250 plus questions are there. Okay, basically the examination is based on the MCQs and the drop down boxes. Okay, the drop down boxes mean that you get the multiple option. You have to select the option from that particular drop down menu, or might be the drag and drop options are there. So I collected the entire material, and I will give the assurance. If anyone is coming to me for learn this, it's an assurance that he will be certified for this. It doesn't take 1 month or 2 months, but yes, it's an assurance from my side that person will be cracked easily. So moving to the next part. This one. Okay, so today's our next topic is, the name of the topic is list. Now we are elaborating the list into the great detail. Okay, what are the methods which are associated with the list? Earlier we learned about if, and then we move to the for. Okay, then we move to the nested for, then we move to the while, then we move to the, you know, the string in great detail. Okay, now the next task is the list in great detail. Now we are going to learn the list into the great detail, how exactly, you know, what are the various basically methods which are associated with the list. Basic things we know very well, so I am giving you the quick recap for the same, what exactly list and how you can tackle the list. So list is very simple. As you know, it's a mutable concept. Whenever the person is saying it's a mutable, easily changeable. So collection of heterogeneous, okay, these are the collection of the heterogeneous objects for example, and the one thing is that you can perform the slicing with them. Why so? I already told you, these are the ordered pair. Everything is into the sequence. Immediate after this memory location, the next element would be placed over here. Immediate after this location, the next element would be placed over here. Okay, so for example, this one 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So we can perform the slicing. Why so? Because this is the concept of the ordered pair. Keep this point into the mind. Ordered pair mean immediate, the next element would be a pair immediate after this memory location. So this is the main key important thing to understand this list. So the same thing you can do it. L of 0, you will get the output, that is the 10. Okay, and again L of 1 colon, that's mean you are slicing from this 1 to the entire list. So output would be 20, 30, 40. The slicing is implementable over here. Okay, the same thing whatever we did into the case of this thing, exactly the same scenario is exactly same. Okay, so for example, colon minus 1. So what you will get? You will get 40, 30, 20 and 10. You will get the reverse. Okay, you will get the reverse of the entire thing. So this is very basic, and we know mutable. The mutable mean that you can change the content of the data. That already we discussed into the last video. So I am showing you one very small program just for the quick recap. So 10, 20, 30. Okay, I simply iterate it for I in L and print of I. Very simple way. So you will get the output 10, 20, 30. Okay, this is the one way to do this this iteration, and another way to processing the every element for I in range of len of this L. Okay, and with the help of the concept of the slicing, L of I. That's it. Now exactly the output would be same, 10, 20, 30, exact same in the both of the cases. Choice is again yours. Sometime as we seen in one of the the assignment, that sometime you are supposed to take the help of this, and sometime you can directly do it. Okay, so one very small program that is relevant to this list and very useful into the real time industry that we already did, I suppose. S is equal to 0. Okay, for I in L, S is equal to S plus I and print of S. That's it. Very simple program. Sum of all the element of this list. So what is happening over here? Initially I initialize the S value, that is 0, and after that on every iteration I am performing the mathematical addition. Okay, I am performing the mathematical addition over here. So first case I value become 10. Initially the S value is 0, so it's become 0 plus 10. Okay, now the S value become 10. In the next iteration the I value is 20. Now this time the same thing implemented, the same logic implemented, and this become 10 plus 20. Now S become 30. Okay, in the next iteration I value become 30. Now here the same logic implemented, S is equal to S plus I. So S value this time the updated value 30 and the I value is again 30. So you will get 60. So this is the scenario. Okay, and very useful program. I already tell you where exactly this kind of logics are used. So this is just quick refresh regarding this thing. So now we are going to see what are the various ways or the various methods which are associated with this list. Okay, so the first thing, the dynamic input, as we already discussed, with the help of the eval of input of, okay, eval of input of enter list. So this is the one way. Second way that we already seen with the help of the while loop, with the help of the append method. Okay, if you don't know the append, that this way is quite better. Okay, with this one line of code, but make sure you have to tell the user you are supposed to perform the entirely the same scenario. Okay, entirely the same scenario, otherwise you will get the error message. So this one is the important one. Choice is again yours. If you are comfortable with the help of the while, then you can proceed with while. If you are comfortable with this eval, yes, the option is there, you can perform the same thing with the help of the eval. So another way, let's suppose this one is a range. What is the meaning of this range? Range mean, let's suppose 10 to 20. So it's mean I am taking a element of 10, 11, 12 up to 20. Okay, that's mean 10 to 19 elements. So it will generate the iterable objects from 10 to 19. Okay, 10 to 19. Now I want to convert it into the list. So what is the funda for the same? Simply you have to do the typecasting. Okay, typecasting 10, 20. Okay, sorry, this one is a comma, not hyphen, comma. Okay, so 10 to 20. So list will be generated with the element of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 and 19. You will get this list with the help of this range. And what I am doing, I am typecasting this range to the list. This is the concept. Okay. So there is one more way. Let's suppose this one is a string, and string is containing hello, and I want to convert it into the list. Very simple. You have simply just typecasting it, list of L. Now it will become H. Okay. It will become E. It will become L, it will become L, it will become O. So this one is the way, this one is the way by which you can perform this. Okay. So these are the various possibilities with the help of the typecasting, and one way is again there. Let's suppose this one is hello. Okay, this one is a hello, and the Python with the help of split method that we already seen into the last video, s dot split. Okay, split via space, automatically it will split this data into this whenever the space is occur over there, and it will return us the list. So output will be something like this, hello, okay, and the Python. That's it. Okay, so this is another way. These are the various possibility to generate the list. Okay, with the help of eval, with the help of while, okay, with the help of the typecasting, with the help of this range, with the help of this split. So these are the various possibility how you can generate it, and the rest of the things are same, mutable, and you can do the slicing. Okay, you can do the positive slicing as well as the negative slicing, and we already know how we can do the iteration with the help of the for. Okay, with the help of while, the same thing can be implemented with the help of for, with the help of while, and whenever you perform the same thing with the help of for, the things are very simple. The one way directly you have to iterate this object, another way with the help of the len function. Len function is implemented over here as well. It basically this function which is available for everyone. Okay, so these are very basics. These are very basics. Now move to the next one, the important function that are associated with the list. So important function, okay, which are associated with the list. Now observe this scenario. The first is count. Okay, the count name specify itself that I am supposed to count something. Okay, I am supposed to count something, exactly same in the case of the list. Okay, oh sorry, in the case of the string. So what I am doing, let's suppose this one is there, 1 2 3 2 2. Okay, 3. So I want to count it out. How many 2's are there? Very simple, n dot count. Okay, n dot count of 2. That's it. How many 2's are there? 1 2 3. You will get the output 3. So this is the method, okay, which is used to count the elements. Okay, which is used to count the element. Let's suppose I am counting n dot count of 5. So what output I will get? 5 is not there. 5 is not there. So output you will get the 0. Okay, with the help of this count method. So count is a method which is used to count the number of similar objects. Basically, whatever object that you will pass, it will return how many times that occurrence of this object is there. Okay, so this one is the first method, very simple method. Again, the next is index method. Okay, index method, the name specify itself. The name specify itself, that is the index method. Okay, return the index of first occurrence of the specific item. For example, the list is this one, 10 20 10 20. Okay, something like this. So I want to find out the index of this 10. Okay, I want to find out the index of this 10. So output would be L dot index of this 10. Okay, the index of this 10. So what output I will get? What output I will get? I will get the 0 index. Okay, I know I will not get this one. So I will get the 0 index. So output would be 0 index. Let's suppose L dot index of 20. So what index I will get? I will get the 1 index. So with the help of this index method, you will get the index. Okay, so here let's suppose I want to find it out. L dot index of 500. The 500 is not there. Okay, the 500 is not present over there inside this list. So what output I will get? I will get an error message. Okay, I will get an error message. And what type of error I will get? The error name is value error. Okay, these type of questions sometime ask into the Microsoft examination. Okay, they give you this scenario, and after that they ask what type of error you will get, or you will get the value, or you will get the index. So these type of questions are there, okay, inside the Microsoft examination. So you have to keep remember these basic things as well. So here the output would be the value error, because that value is not available and I am looking for that value. I am trying to find out the index of that value. So it will generate you the error message. Okay. So this type of condition, how you can handle? With the help of in. Okay, with the help of in. let's suppose you ask from a user, okay, but you want to find it out. The user said, okay, I want to find it out 500. Okay, the 500 is not there. If I directly perform this, you will get the error message, that is the value error. So how I can tackle this situation? So for same, I can do if, okay, if whatever the value inside X, let's suppose 500, X in this L, then print of L dot index of this X. That's it, very simple way. And else, if it is false, okay, if it is false, simply print the message on the screen, this is not available. That's it. Okay, you can handle the error. Otherwise, if you directly implemented it without taking the help of this, you will get the immediate the message, the error, that is the value error. Okay, so keep these things into the mind. So now you know in is usable with all of the data structure almost. So in is very useful. Try to impart this kind of thing into your programs. So it will make the more, the generalized, it will make the code will become more generalized. So try to impart these things as well. Okay, so the next is the third. Okay, the third the method which is associated to this list. Okay, and that method name is called insert. Okay, append, we know it. Okay, and the another one is the insert. So append, we already know it. Whenever inside computer science word append is there, it always end of the data. For example, L is equal to 10, 20, 30. Okay, so L dot append of 500. So 500 would be appended at the end of the list, always end of the list. If the list is empty, and you want to append something, yes, happily append it. And where it will be appended? On the first location, because this time the first is same and the last is same. Okay, whenever the items are there, then it automatically count that a number of item, and after that it will add that content. So this is the usage of the append. Okay, so the fourth one is insert. Okay, insert. Insert means that I want to insert something. Okay, now the question is, sir, at this time I want to insert on specific position. Okay, into the specific position. So first what I have to do, n dot insert. Okay, the method name is called insert. On what position that you want to insert? Sir, I want to insert on one position. Or what item that you want to insert? Sir, I want to insert 777. Okay, I want to insert 777. Now this 77 would be inserted on the position of 1. Okay, on the position of 1. Then the output would be 10, 777, 20 and 200. You will get this. Okay, you will get this. So this one is the way. I want to insert the specific element into the specific position. At that time, you are supposed to take the help of this insert method. So difference, append and insert. Append end of the item. Okay, insert at a specific position, whatever position that you specify, that the item would be inserted over there. Okay, so the next is the fourth one is your extend. Okay, extend, name specify itself that I'm going to extend something. Okay, I'm going to extend something. For example, L1 10 20. Okay, L1 10 20, L2 30 and 40. Okay, so these are two lists. I want to extend this L1. I want to extend this L1 with L2. Okay, that's mean I am going to extend this L1 with L2. So what is the way? The method name is called extend. L1 dot extend. Okay, extend of L2. That's it. Now this L1 is extended with L2. So the output would be 10, 20, 30 and 40. Okay, so output would be this 10, 20, 30 and 40. Okay, this is the way to do the extension, extended basically. Okay, to extend something. So same thing, L2 dot extend of this L1. Now this time I am extended this with this L1. So output would be 30, 40, 10, 20. Okay, so this is the way. L2 dot extend, L1 dot extend with the help of extend method. Very simple. Names specify itself. The extend, I am going to extend something. Okay. So the next method is remove method. Okay, the next method is remove method. Remove. Name specify itself. Very easy. Okay, very easy. When remove will be used, the function which is remove the specific item from the list. Okay, the specific item from the list. Let's suppose this one is a item okay, and this is the list and these are the items. You want to remove it, okay, you want to remove 30. Very simple, okay, the very simple. Let's suppose L dot remove of 30, okay, L dot remove of 30. Now what will be happen? This 30 would be removed. Let's suppose there are multiple 30s, okay, there are multiple 30s. So which 30 will be removed? Okay, the first occurrence of 30 will be removed. Okay, the first occurrence of the 30 will be removed. So let me verify this statement. Okay, so I have little doubt over here. Let me verify this statement. So pi is equal to 10, 20, 30, 30, okay, 30, 30. Let me verify it. L dot remove of 30. So okay, now yes, perfectly good. So it is removing the first occurrence of 30. Okay, rather than to remove the all, it will just remove the first occurrence of 30. Okay, so with the help of this remove, if you want to remove something, okay, if you want to remove of something, so at that time you have to take the help of this remove. Okay, so there is one more thing. Let's suppose you want to remove, okay, you want to remove 500. This 500 is not available. This 500 is not available. Now this time again you will get the error message. Okay, error message. Which error? The value error. Okay, the value error. So keep this point into the mind. Maximum time whenever you deal with the list, you will get the number of time the value error. Okay, when you deal with the dictionary, at that time the maximum chances are there for the key error. So keep this point into the mind. Okay, so value error, that means you are getting the value error. Why so? Because I am trying to remove that element is not available. Okay, so this time you will get the error. Okay, so this the concept of the remove method. Okay, now the next one is pop. Okay, pop. Okay, the next one is pop. Let's suppose n is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, I simply write n dot pop. Okay, n dot pop. So what it will do? It will pop out the last item. Means remove the last item. What is the difference between remove? The remove will remove the specific item. The pop will remove the last one. Okay, the pop will be removed the last one. So for example, again after running this n dot pop, now 40 is removed. Again I run it n dot pop. Again now the 30 will be removed. Again I run the pop. Okay, now this time the 20 will be removed. Again I run the pop. Now this time the 10 would be removed. Okay, now this time this n is empty list. Okay, this one is the empty list, and I am trying to remove something. Okay, I am trying to remove something. Now this time you will get the error message. Okay, this time you will get the error message because I am removing something that is not available inside that list. So this time you will get the error message. Now the question is, sir, which error I will get? I will get the index error. Okay, I will get the index error. Why so? Because I am removing that index is not available, and by default this will be proceed from the backward direction. Okay, from the backward direction. So this is one way. Okay, this is the one way. Now how I can use once more time this pop? So let's suppose this time I am giving, okay, I am giving n dot pop, okay, n dot pop, and this time I pass this 10. Okay, I pass this 10. So it will remove the 10. No, sorry, let me correct myself. So this time let's suppose in this case what is happening? N dot remove of 10. So it means it will remove the 10. Okay, it will remove the 10. So n dot pop of 0. Now what is the meaning of this? That I am removing that index. Okay, I am removing that index, that I am removing that value which is present on the index of 0. Okay, so what is the difference between the remove? Let me clear and write over here. What is the difference between remove and pop? Now keep this point into the mind. The remove will be used to remove specific object. Okay, the specific element that is available into this list, 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, if you want to remove this 10, the 10 will be removed. So how I can use L dot remove of 10. So 10 would be removed. Okay, this is the removed method. Again the method name is called pop. Whenever you run this pop, okay, whenever you run this pop, L dot pop, it will remove the last item. Okay, it will remove the last item. And another usage of this pop, L dot pop of 0. So 0 mean the index of 0. Okay, L dot pop of 1. The 1 mean the index of 1. So it will be used with the two ways. The one you can empty with the without arguments. Okay, without arguments, and another is the you have to pass this argument. And what this argument is, this is basically called index. Okay, this is basically called index. So this one is the way to use the remove and pop. And what exactly difference between these two? Remove and pop. Keep this point into the mind, because this type of question are n number of time you will face into the Microsoft examination. Okay, and the questions are little diplomatic, not direct. They will not ask each and everything, the direct way. You will feel every option is correct. Okay, it's take lots of practice. So the next is another method, that is the reverse. Name specify itself that I am gonna to be reverse the list. Very simple way. Okay, very simple. This one is a list 10, 20, 30, 5, 6. Okay, so I want to reverse it. L dot reverse. Okay, so reverse now 6, 5, 30, 20, 10. Okay, reverse. Very simple method, reverse. Now the next is sort. As the name specify itself that I am performing the sorting. Okay, I am performing the sorting. Let's suppose this one is a list. Okay, this one is a list 10, 5, 6, 7, okay, 8, or you can say 4, okay, 3, something like this. Your list is this one, n dot sort. So I am performing sorting. Now what is happening? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Okay, so this is the way. Okay, this is the way, the sorting method, that you can sort the element. And by default, understand this point, by default this would be done into the increasing order. Okay, into the increasing order. So I want to sort the decreasing order. Okay, I want to sort the decreasing order. So for sorting the decreasing order, so what you have to do, n dot sort. Okay, sort reverse is equal to true. So this is the keyword argument, okay, that you are supposed to pass into this. Now the item would be sorted into the reverse order, 10, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, something like this. Okay, into the reverse order. So keep this point into the mind. The sorting, perform the sorting. By default it perform the increasing order, and you want to perform the sorting into the decreasing order. So this is the way. N dot sort reverse is equal to true, and this is called keyword argument. Later on we will understand what exactly different types of arguments are there. So for this point of time, just keep this point into the mind. If you want to do the reverse into the decreasing order, then you have to pass this element, pass this keyword argument, that is called reverse is equal to true. Exactly same. Okay, it should be exactly same. The spelling should not be mistake, and the T should be capital. Okay, the T should be capital. So this concept is called sorting. And the next one is, let's suppose this one is a list and you want to clear it. You want to remove all the element from this list. L dot remove. Okay, sorry, L dot clear. So clear mean I am removing all the element from this list. So you will get a empty list. Okay, you will get a empty list. The clear name specify itself, clean everything. If I perform this del of L, now what is the meaning of this? Now what is the difference between clear and del? Inside del, okay, inside del, I am removing the existence of this. I am removing the existence of this L. Keep this point into the mind. That's mean I am removing the existence of this L. Now L is nothing after performing this del. L dot clear mean I am just clearing all the objects, whatever the data inside this list that I am removing, I am cleaning it. So L dot clear. Okay, now it will give you the fresh list, something like this. So this is the difference between clear and del. Del means the memory existence. There is no existence after performing this del. The del will basically associated with the memory addresses. So that's mean I am removing that memory where L is present. And after performing this del, there is no significance of this L. If you try to perform this L, you will get the error message. Let me show, and then the picture would be more clear. So this time L is this one. The first thing I perform the clear. Okay, I perform the clear. Now L is cleaned, empty data. Okay, L is L contain no values because I clean it. So here I can use this L. I can use this L. Now you can check it out. There is no error. When I perform del of L, now at that time when I press L, now it is getting the error, that is the name error. Okay, why so? Because I remove the existence of this L into the memory. Okay, so after performing this del of L, the L has no significance. Okay, it doesn't have any identity now. So again you have to reassign this L. So this is the way, this is the funda. Okay, the del and clear. Okay, so the next concept is your called aliasing. Okay, aliasing, or you can say cloning. Okay, you can say cloning. Now what is the meaning of the aliasing and cloning? The aliasing mean you are giving a nickname. Okay, you are giving a nickname. For example, the full name is Ram Kumar Lokhandwala, something like this. Okay, the name, the person name is this one, very huge name. Okay, very huge name. Again writing this name again and again and again, you will get irritated sometime. Okay, if the list name is, let's suppose this one, because whenever you are sitting into the industry, at that time you are not supposed to use the name according to your own. You have a complete documentation. Okay, you have a complete documentation when you are going to design a, developing a software from scratch. You will get a complete documentation. In that documentation, you are supposed to take the name of the variable as it is whatever defined into this documentation. Okay, so there the names are very, very large. Okay, for example, retail data 2018, okay, to 2019, January to February. Okay, so this one is, let's suppose, the data which contains some data. And again writing this you will get irritated. Let's suppose this thing is implemented 10 of time into your program, and again you are supposed to write the entire name again and again. So you may feel irritated. Okay, so what is the solution for the same? The solution for the same, that you can perform the concept of the aliasing. Aliasing means to assigning a nickname. Here the Ram Kumar Lokhandwala, I am giving a nickname RKL. So it is better to pronounce Ram Kumar Lokhandwala, you are simply saying Ram RKL. Or here let's suppose the retail 2018 to 19, January to February. Again calling this huge name, I am simply saying a retail JF. Okay, just like this. Okay, retail JF. So what is the benefit of this? Now this concept is called aliasing, to assigning a nickname to the variables. So what exactly what exactly the memory representation for these alias concepts? The memory representation is same. Now try to understand this concept. This one is my list LL. Okay, 10, 20, 30. Okay, and what I am doing? I am doing a aliasing. Okay, I am doing a aliasing. So L is equal to LL. So it doesn't matter if I am calling this L or calling this LL. That's mean I am calling this entire data. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter you are saying L or you are saying LL. Okay, you are saying L or you are saying double L. So it doesn't matter. That's mean you are calling this data, because both of the memories are same. Both of the memories are same. Okay, let me show you that the picture would be more clear for you guys. So here this one is, let's suppose, Ram Kumar. Okay, ji, very big name. Okay, Lokhandwala. So let's suppose this one is the name of the variable. So here again, whenever you are supposed to use this, you are supposed to use this huge name. So what else I can do? L is equal to, okay, I am giving a nickname. L is equal to this one. That's it. Doesn't matter I am calling this L or I am calling this huge name. That doesn't matter. Both of the time you will get the same output. Sir, where is proof for the same? Okay, I will show you the proof. The ID of this one and the ID of L, both are same. Okay, you can check it out. The ID of this one, the ID of that is both are same. You can check it out. Both are presenting on the same memory location. So this concept is called aliasing. Sometimes very useful in the case of the function. Okay. So the next concept is cloning. Okay, cloning. The cloning mean exactly opposite of the aliasing, that I am making a clone. Okay, I am making a clone. So what exactly meaning of this cloning? Let's suppose this L is 10, 20, 30. Now what I am doing, inside Y, okay, inside Y, I am copying this L. Okay, I am copying this L. Understand this point. Earlier I just do the concept of the aliasing. Now this time I am making a copy. Okay, I am making a copy. So y is equal to L dot copy. That's it. Okay, L dot copy. Now the memory address of y is different. Okay, the memory address of y is different. The memory addresses of L is different. So keep this point into the mind. The memory address of y is a difference. This time L is difference. So that's mean if the Ram Kumar Lokhandwala inside L, so Ram Kumar Lokhandwala is something else, L is something else, but both are containing the same data because I copy it. Okay, I copy it. Both are containing the same data because I copied it. Okay, so this concept is called cloning. So whatever changes are made over here, it won't reflect over here. Okay, whatever changes are made over here, it won't reflect over here. But in the case of the aliasing, whatever changes are made over there automatically reflected over there because both are pointing into the same memory address in the case of aliasing. But in the case of cloning, both are having different memory addresses. Okay, so this one is a aliasing and cloning. When we are coming from the C++ language, there this concept is not implemented. There, let's suppose the x is equal to 10, L is equal to x. So it's mean I am assigning the value, this x value to the L. But here the concept is little different. Keep this point into the mind. Okay, so the next is concatenation. The plus, okay, the same, the concept of the polymorphism. So here let's suppose that this one 10, 20, 30 and y is equal to 40, 50. So I am concatenating all these L plus y. So output would be 10, 20, 30 and 40, 50. That's mean I concatenated all. This is the concept of the concatenation. This is the concept of the polymorphism. Same, whenever this operator perform over this thing, it perform the concept of the concatenation. When this perform on the integer, it perform the mathematical addition. Same thing, whenever it perform over the list, again it perform the concept of the concatenation. Okay, so repetiting operator. Okay, the same, L is equal to 10, 20, 30. Okay, L multiply by 2. So what output I will get? 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30. Repeating the number of items. Same, exactly same in the case of this thing. Okay, so the next concept is clear, list, clean, del, concatenation. Okay, so we have another, the membership operator, you know very well, in and not in. Okay, the same concept is exactly same that we already discussed. So the rest is depending. Okay, so almost the basic functionality done. So the next is the nested list. Okay, nested list, that's mean list inside list. So how we can represent it? L is equal to, okay, list inside list. So list inside list. Okay, so here L of 0, what output I will get? I will get 10, 20. L of 1, what output I will get? 10, 20, 30, 40. Okay, so I will get this output. Like what I want this 10. Okay, I want this 10. So how I can implement it? Very simple. L of 0 of 0. What is the meaning of this? That's mean I am getting it 0 index. On 0 index I am fetching this 0 index because it's contain again the multiple addresses. So on this 0, this is present on the 0, this is present on the 1 index. So on this 0 index I am fetching out the 0th layer. So this is the concept of the 2D arrays. Okay, 2D arrays, or you can say the multi-dimensional arrays. So L of, okay, now this time 1 of 1. So what output I will get? I will get the 1 of 1, that I will get the 20. Okay, I will get the 20. L of 0 of 1. So what output I will get? I will get this 20. This 20. Okay, this time this 20. So I am saying on the 0th index, whatever the index is there, 0 and 1, I want to fetch out the 1 index. Okay, so this concept is called nested list. Whenever you are performed to multi-dimensional array, okay, so the matrix, I'll give you the assignment regarding the same, don't worry about it. Okay, so these are very basics about the list, the methods that we already seen in great detail. So with the help of this method, I will give you some assignment. Okay, the next concept is very important and very, you know, the optimized way. List comprehension. Okay, list comprehension. This concept is called list comprehension. Okay, so how we can use this concept? Now understand this point. So let's suppose you want to find it out. Let's suppose this one is a list. Observe my scenario: 7, 8, 6, 5. So this one is a, okay, this one is a list. So I want to find out the even number and I want to add that even number into this list. So how we will perform it? Very simple. For I in L, if I modulation of 2 double equals to 0, then what you have to do? Y dot append of this I. This is the one way. Okay, this one is the one way. Perfectly it will work fine. After that, what you have to do? Print of Y. That's it. So now what is the another way? Okay, the same thing can be implemented with one line, as I already told you. When we start this session, in the very first day or might be into the second day, I explain you guys, if you are very good into the Python, the same thing which are done into the 5 line, you can perform the same thing into the 1 line. Yes. Now I am showing you how you can perform the same thing into 1 line. So with the help of this list comprehension, that concept is called list comprehension. Okay. So let's suppose this one is my list. Okay, whatever the list is there. Now my concern is that I want to find it out the even number, and that even number that I want to assign into the another list. Very simple. Y is equal to. Okay, so Y is equal to. This concept is called list comprehension. So what I have to do? First I have to iterate it for I in, okay, for I in L. Very simple. For I in L, if I modulation of 2 double equals to 0. That's it. Then you are supposed to add I. That's it. That's it. The same thing is done into the 1 line of code. Yes, it will work fine, and this concept is called list comprehension. Now observe this scenario. What I did? I add the item into this Y list. Okay, on what basis? First I iterated this L. This is the syntax. Okay, you have to keep remember. So I iterated this L. Now after getting the each and everything, here I perform this you know, this condition, same condition I perform over here, and there no need to, you know, there is no need to append. Whatever the condition is true, it automatically return I, and that I will automatically added into this Y. Okay, that I is automatically added into the Y. So this is the way this concept is called list comprehension. Okay, I'll show you one more use case. So let's suppose S is equal to this one, I multiplication of I for I in range of 1 to 10. So what is the meaning of this? What is the meaning of this? It's mean I am iterating. Okay, I am iterating 1 to 10. That's mean 1 to 9, and I am multiplying 1 multiplied by 1. Okay, 2 multiplied by 2, 3 multiplied by 3, 4 multiplied by 4, and up to 9 multiplied by 9. And I am assigning and adding into this S list. So this concept is called list comprehension. Same thing if you want to do without list comprehension, you have to do S is equal to this one for I in range of 1 to 10, and then what you have to do? S dot append. What you have to append? I into I. That's it. The same thing, and the same thing. Output is exactly same. And this one is the optimized way. Okay, and your memory consumption is very low in this case. The performance will increasing. Sometime you will get a code from the internet into this manner, and this concept is called list comprehension. Okay, so I think the picture is clear about this. So if you have any question before assigning you the assignments, please let me know. So this is all about the list. What are the various methods which are associated with the list you have to perform.
Sir, what is the difference in extend and concatenation?
Okay. Basically the operations perform the same thing. Okay, this one 10, 20, 30. Okay, so Y is equal to 10, 20. So concept is exactly same. Sometime we don't know that concatenation will work fine. Sometime we don't know this concatenation will work or not, because people are not, the familiar, might be they think about it, might be it is not working over the list. At that time the Python give you a method, that method is called extend. Choice is again your, you want to comfortable with this extend, proceed with extend. If you want to comfortable with this plus, proceed with plus. I think there is only this difference between these two. Any another question? Anyone else?
I have a question, sir. You know the indexing, like if you want to get the, if suppose a list having a multiple identical item and you want to get third or fourth one, not first one, so how you can retrieve that one?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. For example, this one is a list.
Yeah, having a multiple same identical like 10, like you saw on that before. Yeah. No. Let's say 10, 20, again 10. And I want to get that index number to 10, because if you put the, like, you know how you can get that one, because if you put the, if you want to get the 10, so you will get the first one, I assume.
You want to find it out the indexes of all the tens.
Yeah, not the first one, I want third or second one.
No, exactly your requirement is this one, that you are getting the output at 10 at 0, 10 at 2, like this.
Yeah, I want to get the like number 2.
Only number 2.
Yeah, only number 2.
Okay, so what your requirement is this one. Let's suppose this one is a list. So I want to find, I will ask from the user, okay, which 10 that you want to find it out. Okay, I'll make a program for the same. Let's try, and I hope I will give the answer of your question. Let me try for the same. So let's suppose I am asking a value from the user. Okay, so here your requirement is this one. Okay, so I'm taking, first I am printing it. Okay, print number of items. So let me make it more generic. Okay, printing of x. Now again I'm asking from a user, s is equal to input of, enter the number. Okay, number. So this one is my searching element, what you want to do, and here number of f number of s in list. Okay, in list, comma s dot count. Okay, we know the count of, sorry, x dot count s. Okay, so again so again I am asking from a user, ss is equal to input of which number. Okay, which, you can say which number, or you can say what occurrence. Then you want. Okay, so let's suppose चल रही है ना बेटा अभी. Okay, so what you want. Okay, inside I am taking it. What occurrence of, let me make it more smart, f, and here that s. Okay, so do the typecasting over here, int. Okay, int and here int and here 8. Let me run first this, then we'll come back to. Okay, so enter anything. I'm entering it. Okay, so enter number, but you want to find it out 10. So here I'm getting at something I input int. Okay, I did a mistake. From where the name input int is not defined. Somewhere I did a mistake. Please find it out where I did a typing mistake. Here, here, yes, here. Okay, here I did a mistake. Don't worry. So let me run this again. Okay, I am entering it. Okay, the number that I want to find it out, that is the 10. Again getting error with the base of 10, occurrence of 10 means the 10. Sorry, what I am doing, okay, sorry, that's my mistake. Okay, so here this one, enter number, I am entering the 10. So n is coming on the 10 time. Okay, do you want, I think this one is your question that you are going to ask, what occurrence of the 10 you want. Okay, I just simply put it out, the the second one. Okay, the second one mean 1 2 3. So that's mean the index I will get 0 1 2 3. Okay, I think like this that you want, because I am starting the counting from 2. So 2 mean the index of 2. The index of 2 means 0 1 2. I think this one. Right. Okay, so let me made a code for the same. Now the things has been done prior. What exactly the occurrence of 10 is this one, and I ask from the I. So let's suppose the user entered 2. Okay, so same you have to do the iteration. If I do the iteration with index or without index, this can be implemented with index or as well as without index. So let's try with the index. If you ask this counter for xx in x. Okay, I iterated it. If the searching element is 10, if s, okay, double equals to this xx, and okay, done, almost done. And this x dot index of this xx double equals to, okay, sorry, this s double equals to whatever you want to find it out, I. Then the print I am that index of 10 which you're looking for, index of s which you're looking for. Okay, I think this one is your question. Okay, let me run this, if it's work fine or not. So here, so which 10 that you want to find out? 0 1 2. Okay, so I am entering the number, so I want to find it out 10. Okay, so the number of 10s are occur in the in 7 times. So which one you want to check it out? I want to check it out the second one. So it mean it will return you 0 1 2. Okay, so this one, you will get it. So I didn't get error message, so I did a mistake somewhere. So if s, the searching, if xx double equals to,
What is that factor?
this one, this one by one the items are coming into this na, from this to this. So I am taking this item xx double equals to your item is basically the s, the searching at item, and if and xx x dot index of your 10, okay, xx dot index of this s, this is the, let me write over here, search number. Okay, so search number, this one, if both are same, this condition should be true. If this condition is true, then it will display the item on the screen, so it should work. Let me try once more. Enter anything. So this one, enter the search number, that 10. Okay, the 10 number of 10 in the list is the what occurrence of 10 here that you want. I want a occurrence of 10 is 2. So here, what occurrence of 10 you want to, it should work. I int input what s you want. So here I enter 2. So here the index of searching item 10. So it should work. Let me try one more time. L is equal to 10 comma 10 comma 10 20 comma 10 comma 10. Okay, so what logic I made, x dot index of 10, L dot 0. Okay, zero. Okay, this will not work, because what I am doing, index of 10, because that item is not there, it will work for the index of this one. What I am doing,
सर उसमें तो 10
नहीं वो 10 का सही नहीं है, index of 10. Okay, so again the index of 20 x.
सर आप इंडेक्स अगर सर अपनी लिस्ट बढ़ा दीजिए ना.
1 second sir, just give me 1 second, I will then come back to you. 1, okay, 1. So xx, 1 second, print of this xx. Oh, that's a, I understand the problem statement, where exactly the problem is. This. Okay, the searching item 10. Okay, number of 10 in the list are 8. At what occurrence that you want? Z 10 20 0 1 2. So 1 second, third. So this come third element. Okay, so this logic will not work. Let me make another way. C is equal to 0. Okay, so here, so second, you want the second one, na? You want this second occurrence of second, basically not the index of second, you want the occurrence of second. That is your question. So we don't want to play with this with index, so don't worry about it. So very simple. C plus equals to 1. Okay, so if xx double equal to s, okay, the print, that's it, very simple. C. So and the C is 0 1, C is equal to 0, it's become 1. Not here, here. So if xx is equal to double equal to this one, okay, and C double equals to occurrence, not for that, that is not for the occurrence, the occurrence is I. So you want second, na? If xx, yes, no, you are not looking for the, you are not looking for the index, you are looking for the second object. S, so here S I double equals to, so 1 second, you are not, basically you are looking for this occurrence, not for, you know, those
My question was, basically my original question was, I want to get this not first time, because if you go I index 0 like go to the first one. So I want to get not first one because the multiple 10 coming, so I want to get third one, fourth one.
I understand your concept, I understand your concept. Let me think little. So I am closing this recording.